I'm Angela and welcome back to my channel. I am going to play my TBR game for the first time in quite a few months. I did mention I was taking a break. I was experiencing the found family trope in my real life, which was so lovely to meet new people from joining an in-person book club. So, books can bring people together. Recommend you going out into your community and becoming a part of the community, whether it's through a book club or other means. But it is the new year. I'm back. I will be continuing my project Read the Room, which is to read the books that I own. I am at 170 starting now. So from here, let's hope that number just keeps getting smaller and smaller. If you're new, I created this TBR game to help me pick which books to read next because I have such decision paralysis. I am Cheaty from The Good Place, and so I could never pick what I wanted to read next. Why not make it whimsical and really over the top and make a game? I created a fictional bookstore and I included some drinks and snacks and hobbies because I just like everything cozy. And so why not? So let's play for the first time in 2026 and the first time in a while. I'm very happy to be back. Welcome back to my Cozy Corner Café and Bookshop. Just a quick refresher of how the game works. I am a little white cat, and I'm going to be moving with rolls through the bookshop to stop at different bookshelves. And I'm going to be picking up prompts from here to help me decide which books to read. Now, because I can't just read books and it can't be that simple, I also have added snacks, drinks, and hobbies, which I have created spinner wheels for, that will help me choose. And when I do draw any of these things, I will be putting them in the cafe to remind me how many I've gotten, as well as however many books I've gotten. I will add to my Cozy Corner fireplace area over there. All right, let's get started and see which prompts we're going to be getting. A 5 from the get-go. A hobby. Okay. Okay, I will definitely have fun baking. I will be doing that one for sure. 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is an audiobook, and we stopped at this bookshelf right here. So we've got one book and an audiobook. Now for audiobooks, I don't have very many, so I don't need to draw a prompt for that. I only have a few to choose from. For an audiobook, I am going to be listening to Silverborn, and it is in the Nevermore series. It is book 4. We have been waiting since 2020 for this book. Not this one, this is the first, Nevermore. This is a series by Jessica Townsend. It is the best middle grade series I've ever read. Sincerely. If you liked Harry Potter, read this. This is, in my opinion, leaps and bounds better, and it is just as fantastical and whimsical and so funny. All the characters are phenomenal, but do it via the audiobook. Gemma Whalen narrates and does voices for all of the characters, and it is chef's kiss, best audiobook I've ever listened to. I love them. So the 4th in the series, Silverborn, is what I'm going to be listening to in the month of January. But I will draw my first prompt for my first book. A book that you bought on its release day. Okay, this is a fantastic one to get at the start of the year because it really does destroy my soul when I bought a book on release day and now it's on paperback and I haven't read it yet. Fantastic first prompt. I am going to go with Siren Queen by Nevo. This is such a cool cover. This book I know little to nothing about, other than that it takes place in Hollywood. And that's all I need to know, given that it is written by Nevo. I read everything Nevo writes. I was so lucky to be a part of a book club that got to have her on for one of our months of reading one of her books. The Chosen and the Beautiful. So I just can't sing Nevo's praises enough. I will read anything that she writes and be very grateful and happy about doing so. Wow, I'm getting big numbers. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, another hobby. And another book. A book that you know little to nothing about. Ooh, interesting. That's going to be hard considering these are choosing from the books I've had for a really long time. That'll be actually fun. I take these prompts in the spirit in which they were intended because it would be so easy for me to manipulate all these prompts into exactly what I'm wanting to read right now. But that's not the fun of it. The fun is to find the surprise books that you're going to be reading from these surprise prompts. And book that I know little to nothing about, I genuinely went through every shelf with my finger, and if I even knew where something was set in, or if I could even just say like a sentence about it, that did not count. And that book ended up being The Last by Hannah Jameson. So this book, I remember years ago, Emily Fox with Books with Emily Fox, really having a great time with. It was a wild ride, she said, and that was all I needed to know because she can have similar tastes to me and also be similarly picky about things as I am. And honestly, other than it saying on the cover, 1 hotel, 20 survivors, and I see snow in the background, I could not tell you a single thing about this book, and I'm going to keep it that way because that's kind of the point, is the fact that I know literally nothing. I just remember Emily liking it, and I got it. So yay, coloring for my next hobby. Oh, for coloring, I have both water-based and alcohol-based markers and so many wonderful coloring books. That is going to be a delight. Oh my gosh, a 6. I'm just flying through this bookshop today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that was 2 books. Go to the bookstore and find a book on your TBR that is on the tables. That's fun. I can very easily do that because I just got this. It was something that I've been putting off for a while. And then when it went 50% off, I had no choice. This needed to happen. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. You may know that The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is one of my all-time favorite books in existence, and Taylor Jenkins Reid wrote it. Honestly, other than Daisy Jones and the Six, which I didn't really care for, I'm one of the weirdos who actually much preferred the TV show to the book. I've only read that by her because I don't know. It's just so special. It meant a lot to me, and I really needed that book when I read it. And this one, I have seen more people sobbing at the end. I'm sure like Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And finally, I think this is the one for me because we're a big NASA space family, and I really just am curious what she ends up doing with this. So I don't want to look into too much what it's about. I think it's a sapphic romance, which that's exactly why I wanted to read it. And space. What better can you get? One of the greatest 2 things in life. Okay, so this is a book that Jewel would read. So Jewel is one of my 2 cats. She's white, which is why I chose this little white cat right here. And I say that Jewel has a dragon eye because she has 1 blue eye and 1 yellow eye. And I think that all of her mischief and deviousness is from that dragon eye. So I thought it would be a fun prompt to put in a book that I think each of my cats would read. Now, Jewel and the other one is Topaz. They're sisters, but they could not be any more different. And of the two, Jewel is definitely more spicy and aloof and devious and just she's just wonderful. This was so fun to look through with my husband. We were debating very thoroughly over which books Jewel would want to read, and we ended up settling on Sign Here by Claudia Lux. So the reason why we ended up settling on this is because honestly, I think any mischievous cat would read this, but especially mine, because it says a darkly humorous, gripping novel about a guy who works in hell and is on the cusp of a big promotion if only he can get one more member of the wealthy Harrison family to sell their soul. So the concept of trying to use all manners of manipulation and trickery and charm to try to get everything that you want and try to get people to sell their soul. Yeah, that's Jewel. She would just meow incessantly and then sometimes be a little cute to try to warm us over, and then she'd get tired of it if you didn't cave, and then she would just run screaming through the halls and meowing at you nonstop, causing chaos. So yeah, Jewel would try to get us to sell our souls. Even just for one can of wet food, she would definitely sell our souls for a can of wet food, so. Okay, last rule, and then we're almost to the cafe, and if it seems like, no, I won't be picking up a dessert or a drink, and I want at least one. So I'm gonna add one of each because that's just how I like to do my reading, is having a drink and a snack. So I will be adding one of each at the cafe. I'll be purchasing them. And then I'm gonna go to my cozy corner. So let's see if we're gonna get a small number or a big number. This is crazy, 5s and 6s. I guess the dice haven't been used for like a half a year and it's just gearing up and raring to go. So we are going to stop at this last bookshelf. Let's see. Oh yeah, read a witch book. Plenty of those. Well, I was tempted to go into magic. I was tempted to make that a little flexible, but I have so many actual witch books, and that is what I think that prompt deserves. So this is the witch book I have been most excited for years, and I have started it, and I loved what I read. It's time. And that is The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. I have liked the Alex E. Harrows that I have read so far, and what I read of this book was really captivating and well written, just like her other books. It follows a few sisters from what I can tell, and this was set during women's suffrage. At least that's where it was when the book started. I just want to follow the tale of 3 witch sisters. Historical, probably fantastical, and I know the writing's going to be great. And then we've made it to the cafe. We will add a drink and a snack, and then we're at the cozy corner. So let's see what kind of a drink and a snack I'm going to get. Comfort beverage. A comfort beverage and a baked good. Can you get more cozy than that? So the game has really decided that for my welcome back to playing it, it was going to give me just the most delightful things. So we have a lot to talk about, a lot to read, a lot to eat and drink and hobby. Yay, this is so good. I have a wide variety of books like usual. I do like a lot of different genres, so that'll happen. And I also am excited. I have my hobby and beverage and, no, 2 hobbies. Yeah, 2 hobbies and beverage and snack. So this is going to be fun, and I will update you and check in for the next round of Cozy Corner Café and Bookshop. Until then, I hope that your life is filled with good people and good books. Take care.